Hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you who might not know me, my name is Joelle Terranova. I'm a realtor for over 13 years now. I can't believe it's been 13 years. 13 amazing years. And I'm also the CEO, founder of Get House Ready. It is a company that is focused on helping credit challenged borrowers be able to get not only pre-approved for a mortgage, but also be able to get them into a home, get them down payment assistance money, just really help to hold their hand to get them into the real estate market. I don't do fancy webinars and do-it-yourselfers. You really need to have somebody with you to help you, to show you how to navigate the waters of real estate. There's so many caveats that if we don't get everything to match up for you, it can be very difficult. So the other day I posted something about how, and I just took one client out of thousands that we've helped, but this one we helped recently. And I wanted to tell his story. He came to me with a 480 credit score. 3 months later, he closed on a house, brand new construction. It was already built. He didn't have to wait for it to be built. It was already built, but it was a brand new home. $367,000 is what he got the home for. And a lot of people are asking how. They're saying, make me a believer, Joelle. How did this happen? And I'm so glad that the question is being asked. So what I'd love to say is, if this is your first time watching me, please be sure to comment a 1. I just like to acknowledge people taking the time out to listen to me. I promise this is not going to be a long video. I'm going to get straight to the point. If this is your second or more time, please comment a 2 because I love to acknowledge you too. Thank you so much for watching and participating. If you happen to watch this live video after the fact and you are a client and you want to comment about your experience that you were able to get helped and getting a loan, even though your credit scores may have been low, please comment that as well. It's very important that people communicate and can say what their experience was so that other people can hopefully get to the next level, right? Each one teach one, each one bring one. Your comment alone may help somebody get to the next level. So let me tell the story. So for privacy's sake, I am not, hey Sharda, thank you so much. I love watching you. I love what you're doing in real estate. You all, this is an amazing Southern Belle. Make sure that you follow her, watch her on social media. She is absolutely amazing. So I want to tell this young man's story. For privacy's sake, I am not going to use his real name. So let's just call him Steve. We're going to call him Steve. And so Steve came to me from the West Coast. So I deal with clients in all 50 states. He at the time was in California, was going to be moving to Pennsylvania. Some of you that are on my feed actually know the story. And in fact, somebody commented on the post that I posted that he was witness to the story because guess what? He's one of the loan officers that we were utilizing. And I also tagged the loan officer that got him the loan. So there's all type of people that if you want to make reference and ask, is the story true? Go for it. Have at it. Call me on my phone, 484-269-6423. If you want to talk about it, we'll talk about it. No big deal. There's nothing to hide when you're being totally transparent. So this young man is in California, gets an amazing job opportunity in Pennsylvania. So for him, money wasn't an issue. And a lot of my clients, money is not an issue. They have verifiable income. They have a great job, or perhaps they work for themselves and have great income as well. So the main caveat to making this work is you have to have income. Unfortunately, my team, my family, my husband and I cannot pay your mortgage, right? But we can help you get one. So you have to do that part, which is having verifiable income. I don't care if you work for Uber or Lyft. It's all verifiable. Now, if you are somebody who is making money, but it's under the table, it's undocumented, when it's not verifiable, that's where we can have an issue. But there are ways around that as well. It's worth the conversation. So this young man, money is not an issue. He has a great job. He has to move now from California to Pennsylvania. And unfortunately for him, he has a 480 credit score. You all, at 480, at this point, it's almost impossible to get a rental. It's almost impossible to get a rental. So what did we do in this case? In his particular case, he needed to get moving now. So he arranged to come to Pennsylvania. We showed him various houses. He picked the home that he felt was best for him. He flew back to California. Now, at the time, he still only had a 480 credit score, right? But fortunately for us, we have amazing lenders that know what we're able to do when it comes to credit scores. My team specifically focuses in on improving credit scores for individuals who are looking to purchase a home. So it's totally different from any other credit repair service. And there, in no way, shape, or form am I discrediting anybody who does credit repair and charges like a monthly fee or whatnot. But what I do want to say is when you need credit improvement because you are looking to buy a home, it is a totally different process. Though I'm very non-confrontational, I am happy to have that debate with any credit repair business owner. When you are fixing someone's credit or improving credit scores, and that person is specifically looking to purchase a home, it is a totally different process. How do I know? I've been on both sides of the coin. So while this gentleman still only had a 480 credit score, we were still able to wheel and deal. So when we found the house that was best for him, that he liked, what we did was we negotiated, because as realtors, we have this power to do this. We negotiated a short-term lease purchase. Why? Because he needed to get from California to PA, and he only had a 480 credit score, but he needed a place to live. I don't have to convince somebody that they need a roof over their head, and if their credit scores aren't the best, it's going to pose a problem. He already knew it. We were able to get our lender partner to issue a pre-approval based on his income alone. But the loan officer made it very, very clear where the credit scores needed to be in order to close. So the reason why individuals come to us is because we have such great relationships with our lending partners that our lending partners are willing to issue pre-approvals even before the credit gets there because they know what it is that we can do. So once we negotiated that, the young man moved from California to Pennsylvania, and guess what? Moved right into his new home. He moved right into his new home. Now, there's a lot of things that happened in between there, negotiations, this, that, and the third on the real estate side of things. But I really want to focus in on how it was he was able to close in 3 months when he started with a 480 credit score, because that's really the main thing that you're wanting to hear. Like, how in the world did that happen? So now picture it. We still are at a 480 credit score. We're moving all the way across country. That takes a lot of trust, you all. For someone to uproot their life and move from California to PA on a 480 credit score takes a lot of trust. And we don't take that lightly. We do not take that lightly whatsoever. So he moves in on a lease purchase. We have 3 months to close. You all, it depends specifically on what each and every individual circumstance is as to what needs to happen to get our client to a particular credit score. Everybody is different. Let me use this analogy, which you'll hear me use a million times. This isn't new. If you walk into the emergency room saying, my foot hurts, I can barely walk on it, and I walk into the emergency room saying the exact same thing, my foot hurts, I cannot walk on it, it does not mean that you and I have the same issue. We may have the same symptoms, but it doesn't mean that we have the same diagnosis. I could have a broken toe. You could have gout. And the fix for each is totally different. When it comes to our clients, we have to analyze what the specific problem is. Because there's always a specific problem. And if you target that, you're going to see the score go up very, very quickly. Sometimes the exact same day. It's that fast, right? So this particular young man had two problems. First problem was collection accounts. Second problem was no positive credit on his particular file. There's a way to resolve collection accounts very, very quickly. You don't even have to use dispute letters. A lot of companies use dispute letters and things like that, credit repair companies. We don't go that process. We don't go that route. Why? Because my clients need to close on the house like today. They don't have time for that. They don't have time to drag it out for months and months and months and months and months. They need it now. So they need to understand what the problem is, the diagnosis. Once we have the diagnosis, what's the prescription? In this young man's particular case, we had to remove certain collections, add positive accounts, which we did. And that's what got him to where he needed to be within a 3-month period so that he could close on his house. You all, there are solutions to every problem. Even if you need a roof over your head right now, you have to get with the right people to align that have the right resources that understand what the problem, diagnosis, and treatment is. You got to be on board, and that's how you execute. Here's the thing that I challenge you. I have full belief in what I do. I've been doing it now for a grand total of 15 years. I have a staff of 17 individuals. I have full belief in what I do. I wouldn't be here talking confidently if I did not. Right? So, in fact, there goes Apu. He's one of our employees. He's our graphic designer. Thank you so much for chiming in, Apu. We always appreciate you. So I have full belief in what I do. I talk with full confidence, talk with full belief. I get on the phone. I give out my cell phone number. Sometimes I'm on the calendar to talk to people. Sometimes I have to intervene and step in. Zero problem with that. I have full confidence in what it is that I do. The question is, do you trust you? That is where the clients that may not have been successful in the past, it's because A, they did not understand. You have to get with people that are willing to make sure you understand what's going on. Number 2, they felt pressure. They felt pressure. A lot of people don't respond well when they feel under pressure. Number 3, they didn't believe that it could happen for them. You all, I've lived my entire life knowing that if someone else can achieve something that's a human being like me, with 2 eyes, a brain, a nose, a mouth, even some people that are born with disabilities and they achieve. If they can achieve, I know I can too. The question that I pose to you is, do you believe that if you're in that situation? Do you believe that it's possible for people's credit scores to go up quickly? Have you seen that happen before? If you haven't, scroll down my timeline. There's a lot of people that you can ask, did this really happen? I tag them. I comment on them. I celebrate them. We have our own group where individuals are there that are in our program and we're talking to them. Come into our Facebook group. I'll make sure that I post the link. Ask them, question them, is this real? And then ask yourself, if it happened for them, why can't it happen for me? Everybody, though, scenario is different. So let's get down to the secret sauce on how we make this happen. How do we make this work for thousands of clients, even though they're in all different states, even though they have all different types of scenarios, Even though we have all different types of financial situations, somebody said, well, for him to get that house at 367, he had to be at least making 80,000 a year. Yeah, he's making more than that. But a person can be making 30,000 a year and still own a home. They're still worthy. Just because someone's credit score is lower or their income may be lower, please somebody help me understand why they're not worthy to be a homeowner. Why is it that realtors and lenders will treat people badly because their credit scores are low? Maybe it's because they don't even know the advice to give them themselves. I know. I need never talk to my clients rudely or harshly or badly or make them feel ashamed. Why? Because I was in the same position myself several years ago, which is why I started the company. You don't treat people like second-class citizens because of a credit score. You don't deny people housing or the opportunity to be a homeowner because of a credit score. You don't talk to people badly. You don't not sympathize or get into their shoes and understand what they're feeling. It's absolutely imperative. There goes one of them, Grace. I knew that one of my former clients would step in, but she's become so much more than a client, a friend, and a sister. Ask Grace. Grace will tell you. It wasn't easy, but we passed through it, and we passed through it together. I never leave my clients out there high and dry so that they got to figure it out on their own. Grace, thank you so much for dropping in. Hey, Joe, how are you? And Joe, he's another person who understands credit, understands the credit game. He and I have known each other for quite some time. So let's talk about what's the secret sauce that makes this work for people. We talked about the story of the young man. I could tell y'all Grace's story. She's given me permission to tell the story. I'm going to tell that story on another Go Live. It's an amazing story as far as I'm concerned. But how is it? What is the secret sauce that we did to make this work? I can tell you it's basically 3 steps. Hey, Lewis, how are you? Lewis, thank you so much for sharing the post in your group. I know there was a few folks that were like, how is that happening? And so I actually shared my telephone number and said, give me a call. I'm so excited about what we're able to achieve that I'm happy to get on the phone with anybody, because you all, with things that are happening in the world today, I believe that no matter where you stand politically, no matter what race, gender, orientation you are, I believe that all of us pretty much want the same things in life. I think COVID taught us to secure ourselves. I think COVID taught us to make sure that we put things in place should the world go topsy-turvy. I think a lot of us, when we saw the things that happened when there was some racial upheaval, when the Black Lives Matter movement became a big topic, a lot of us individuals who are people of color decided to move a little differently. As we saw all these young people in Texas lose their lives senselessly, a lot of us that are parents, it makes us think a little bit differently when we have to think about our family and our little ones and what it is that we are exposing them to. I think with the recent ruling from the Supreme Court, a lot of us are looking at things differently, y'all. The basic bottom line is there's going to be a population boom. People said, well, we're going to wait till the market cools down. Y'all, the world is like this right now. Nothing's cooling down. And the Supreme Court has already said that they're going to be taking a look at a whole lot of other things that they want to change. Again, I'm not sharing my own political thoughts on it. Everybody can have their own political opinion or how they feel. But I think at the end of the day, all of us agree that some things are going to change. We see what COVID did to shake things. Financially speaking, real estate. If you think that things are going to further get shook, which it looks like, don't let 3 digits keep you from being a real estate owner. Why is owning real estate important? Real estate historically always outperforms inflation. Real estate always, please do your research. You don't have to trust me. Some of y'all trust Google. Ask Google. Does owning real estate, the value of real estate, outperform inflation? Tell me what Google says. Real estate always appreciates in value. Even if we have a market that may dip, it always appreciates. Why, you all? Because the land on this earth is all that we're getting. So when you own a piece of it, it only gets more and more valuable. And when you put a building on it and you take care of the building only gets more and more valuable. And as you pay down the money that you owe on it, it gets more and more valuable. So now you have an asset. Please do not let 3 digits keep you from securing your family as we continue to go through upheavals that's going to make the real estate market even more and more valuable. So again, I want to tell you the secret sauce to making this work. Told you a story about the young man, but let's focus on you, your family, your friends, your coworkers, your colleagues. It's 3 things, y'all. It's 3 things. One thing that I'm learning in life is even with the advancement of technologies and everything, I think technology is absolutely wonderful. But there's certain things that we got to get down to basics on. There's certain things that I can have a virtual meeting with a doctor on my laptop and the doctor can help me, no problem. There's other things I got to go into the emergency room. You got to touch me. You got to take my blood pressure. You got to take my temperature. You got to draw some blood because there's a serious problem here. And that's the thing that I'm talking about, is that we've started to lose touch when it comes to things that are serious. Let me help you understand why some people find buying real estate very difficult. It's because there's so many caveats to making it work. Supply and demand. Is there inventory? Do you have the money? Do you have the down payment money? Do you have the income? There are things that are regulated by the government. There are some properties that have encroachments on it. There are some properties that have easements on it. There are some properties that are in flood zones you don't want to be bothered with. There's new construction. There's old construction. There's so many different caveats that if you don't have the right people to help you bring it together, it can be a very intimidating process. We got to get back down to basic. Here's basic number 1. In order for this to work for you, you have to have someone sit with you and do what we call an analysis. It's getting back to basics, you all. That's signing up on the internet, signing up online, and you don't have a conversation with somebody when it comes to this, something as serious as buying a home, something as serious as those 3 digits called credit, not having a conversation. It is like going into the emergency room saying my foot hurts and the doctor comes back and says, okay, we're going to do surgery. We didn't talk. You didn't draw blood. We didn't do an x-ray. You didn't show me something. You didn't show me the problem. Y'all, we got to talk. That right there, that conversation right there is a 10 to 20 minute conversation. For some clients, they need more than that. No problem. I will never for my life run somebody off the phone until I know that they fully understand, that they're fully feeling comfortable, that they're fully engaging and on board. Again, it goes back to your health care. Are you going to let a doctor operate on you and you're not comfortable with that? No, you have to be a part of that decision making. Hey, Patrina, you have to understand what's going on and be a part of your medical care. You need to be a part of your credit care and your real estate care. You also have to be a part of making decisions for what's best for you and your family. Y'all, back to basics. Number 1 thing is we got to sit down and have an analysis. We can do it over the phone. We could do it over a Zoom. You want to look at my face while we do it? You can look at my face all day long. But it is important that we have the conversation. Why? because every single person that I talk to has a totally different set of circumstances. I have yet to meet identical circumstances. I have circumstances that are similar, but I have all of them are totally different and have to be handled differently. You don't have any two people that are the same. So first ingredient to the secret sauce of making this work, we got to get on the phone. We have to have a conversation. I got to hear, what is the problem? What is it that you're experiencing? What are the symptoms? What are your concerns? What are your fears? Let me hear them, because then I need to connect with you so that we can make something that works for you. Second part of my secret sauce, after we do that analysis, we send you a report. We talk about it. We talk about it. It's an in-depth conversation. You got to talk, y'all. The average price of a home is around $250,000. That's the median price. Now, please, y'all, different markets are at different medians. Here on the East, that's usually what we're seeing. But again, different markets, different price. I'm just giving you a point of reference. Y'all, if you are investing in something that's $250,000 or more, even if it's less, don't you think it's worth a conversation? We've gotten so used to not talking and ghosting and quick that we don't have conversations. So once we do that analysis, we send you the report. We have to have a conversation about it. Conversation need not be long. The conversation can be as long as you need it to be. How about that? How about somebody not rushing you off the phone when you still got questions? That's step 2. So step 1, finding out what's the problem. Again, it's like walking into the emergency room. Don't they ask you what's wrong? You tell them. Step 2, somebody comes in and talks to you about it. They do tests. They go over the tests. They go over the analysis. That's step 2. Let's go over it and let's talk about what the problem is, what the diagnosis is, and how do we fix it. Right? Those are simple steps. Step number 3. Let's let you get off the phone, review the information, think over the answers that you heard, the solutions that you heard, the time frames that you heard. A lot of people get nervous about price points. Do y'all know that some of y'all don't have to pay a thing? There's a free guide that I can give you if you just want to do it yourself. My goal is to get people into homes. My goal is to get people into homes. I know how a home can literally change the trajectory of your wealth. I know how a home can set you and your family up to be more secure. So step number 3 is waiting for you to say, let's execute the plan. Or we need to make some changes to the plan. This doesn't feel good to me. That is the simple process. And people get so nervous. Usually the reason why people get nervous is because they don't understand. They don't know what they're walking into. They don't know what they're going to see. They don't feel like being pressured. They don't feel like somebody's speaking to them and they don't understand 2 words coming out of their mouth and they're talking over their head. Those are the things that sometimes annoy me when I get on the phone with people. It's overwhelming. It's heavy. It's too much. Or you ever get on the phone with somebody and they're explaining something and it sounds like they don't even understand what the hell they're talking about? I'm just keeping it real, y'all. I don't want that. I want to feel that who I align with, they know what to do. They understand the things that I'm concerned about, and they have the ability to hold my hand and walk me through, and let's get through to the other side. That is as simple as I can put it. Now, again, are there a lot of caveats and things that are need to be done? Thank you, Alexa. Alexa keeps me on track, right? Are there certain caveats and little tidbits and things? Absolutely, because everybody's going to have a totally different situation. But if we get back to basics, we need to follow those 3 simple steps, which means talking, communicating, getting a diagnosis, the prognosis, the solution. I hope that this video has helped somebody today. Listen, the link is featured in this go live. If you want to watch my mini webinar that shows exactly how my team goes into action to get people through to the other side, we don't care what your credit score is, 350, 400, 450, 500, 550. We don't care. We're not going to talk to you like you're a second-class citizen. You have every right just as everybody else does. Just have verifiable income. Believe in your ability to achieve what other people have achieved. And let's get on the phone and talk about it. I hope that you all have a great and amazing day. Thank you so much for listening to my Go Live. Thank you so much for everybody who chimed in with their comments. Keep the comments coming. If you have something else to say, if you have a question to ask, it's all good. I love transparency, but let's keep it respectful, right? Let's keep it respectful. Let's keep smiles on our faces. Let's get curious and not get defensive. Let's get curious and not be argumentative. Let's start asking great questions so that we can start to get the information and the answers that we need to get through to the other side. You all have a great day, and I look forward to talking to each and every one of you very, very soon.